Imagine standing alone in a forest, where the wind howls through the trees, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and distant rain. Out here, your life depends on a blade that won't snap, a blade that cuts clean through rope, batons hardwood, or carves feather sticks for a life-saving fire. Many survivalists swear by the ESSE 5, hailing it as a legendary tank of a knife, built to withstand almost anything. But what if I told you that the ESSE 5, as good as it is, isn't alone at the top? That there are 5 other survival knives. So brutal, so overbuilt, so versatile, they might just outclass the ESSE 5 itself? Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 brutal survival knives that, in certain situations, might be an even better choice for your kit. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to look at your gear in a whole new way. Stick around, because every knife I'm about to show you has secrets the brochures don't tell you. And if you want links to any of these beasts, check the description below after the video. Let's rewind for a moment. Before we jump deeper into each blade, you need to know that every survival knife has a soul, and that soul is forged not just in steel, but in the story of its maker. Behind every knife we mentioned, there's a legacy. The TOPS B.O.B. Fieldcraft wasn't just made to sell knives to campers. It was born from real-world experience. TOPS Knives was founded in 1998 by a group of special ops veterans who had one mission: create knives tough enough for the harshest environments on Earth. B.O.B. stands for Brothers of Bushcraft, a collective of wilderness instructors who helped design this knife based on what works when you're cold, wet, and running out of daylight. These guys didn't guess they lived it. That Scandi grind? It's not a gimmick. It was chosen because it excels at making feather sticks and notching traps. This is a knife made by survivors, for survivors. First up on this savage list is the TOPS B.O.B. Fieldcraft, a knife that's earned almost mythical status among bushcrafters and survival instructors. The B.O.B. stands for Brothers of Bushcraft, and this blade lives up to its name with a 4.5-inch Scandi ground blade made from 1095 high-carbon steel. Right away, you'll feel the weight and balance in hand. It's designed for heavy use, with a spine robust enough for ferro rod striking and a tip strong enough for controlled carving. The handle ergonomics are insane, offering a secure grip even with wet or gloved hands. Many people compare this knife to the ESSE 5 because they're both built like tanks. But the B.O.B. excels at fine bushcraft work, where the thicker ESSE sometimes feels overbuilt. The only downside? That high carbon steel needs oiling or rust, can creep in, but in raw performance, the B.O.B. absolutely holds its own, and in some campcraft tasks might even outclass the ESSE 5. Now picture this. It's mid-November in the Appalachian Mountains. The temperature dropped unexpectedly. A solo hiker, lost after taking a wrong turn, needs a fire fast. The terrain is damp, deadfall is wet, and the wind is cutting through him like knives. In his pack, a TOPS B.O.B. Fieldcraft. He uses the Scandi edge to carve a perfect tinder bundle, then strikes the spine with a ferro rod. Sparks ignite, the fire catches, and his life is no longer on the line. That night, under a tarp, he realizes it wasn't just a knife that saved him. It was the right knife. Next up, the Fallkniven A1X. This isn't just a knife, it's a Swedish war machine. Fallkniven began in 1984 in Sweden and quickly gained notoriety for supplying knives to the Swedish armed forces. Their blades are issued to pilots and special operators, and yes, that includes Arctic units who face extreme cold, moisture, and unforgiving terrain. The A1X is a modern evolution of the A1 knife that's been tested by military units for decades. It's famous for using laminated cobalt steel, a combination that offers unmatched edge retention while resisting corrosion. The X in A1X stands for extreme, and trust me, they mean it. This knife can survive being hammered through frozen birch or dropped on rocks without flinching. It's a blade you trust at the end of the world. Next, let's talk about the Fallkniven A1X. A Swedish beast, that's the very definition of a brutal survival knife. It's a full-tang blade with a laminated cobalt steel core, sandwiched between tough stainless steel for incredible edge retention and strength. Unlike the ESSE 5's 1095 carbon steel, the A1X resists corrosion like a champion, making it perfect for wet, coastal, or snowy environments. This knife is longer, around 6.3 inches, and boasts a convex grind that bites deep into wood, yet can chop through small branches effortlessly. Its rubberized handle feels rock solid, even dripping wet. In side-by-side tests, the A1X often outperforms the ESSE 5 in chopping and edge retention, though it comes with a higher price tag. But if you want a survival knife that can double as a small machete, yet still feather stick with surgical precision, the A1X might just be your upgrade. Now imagine this scene. A survival instructor in the Alaskan interior, guiding a winter expedition, finds himself separated from his group during a whiteout. With visibility down to feet and no firewood in reach, he stumbles on a half-frozen birch log. With his A1X, he chops through it, splits the wood, and gets a fire going under a small rock overhang. That convex edge stays sharp after the abuse. He shelters there overnight, while the storm rages. His group finds him 36 hours later, alive, warm, and more confident in his gear than ever. The Busse Combat Team Gemini has a different kind of story. Founded by Jerry Busse, Busse Combat started in the 1990s with a singular vision: make the toughest knives on earth using INFI steel, a proprietary alloy with insane shock resistance and near-magical edge retention. These knives were famously used by U.S. Special Forces in Iraq and Afghanistan, especially during missions where blades had to perform beyond expected limits. Busse knives aren't mass-produced. Each run is limited, often custom-ordered, and treated more like a handcrafted tool than a factory-made item. The Team Gemini itself gained fame after being seen on gear lists from Tier 1 operators. Some users report the knife surviving tasks like prying open crates, punching through sheet metal, and still carving fine shavings for fire. When you hold one, it feels like it was built for apocalypse-level punishment. Sliding into spot number 3 is the legendary Busse Combat Team Gemini, a knife that's reached near cult status in the survival world. If the ESSE 5 is a tank, then the Team Gemini is a full-blown armored vehicle. Its INFI steel is renowned for insane toughness and shock resistance, capable of taking catastrophic impacts that would shatter lesser steels. The blade length is roughly 7.5 inches, giving it far greater chopping power than the ESSE 5, while maintaining surprising balance for finer tasks. The handle scales, typically made from canvas micarta, lock into your grip like they were molded for your palm. While some purists argue the ESSE 5 is more practical for bushcraft, those who've used the Team Gemini know it's built for pure punishment, batoning through knots, hacking branches, or even prying tasks that'd destroy most. Knives, the only real downside? Price and availability. These knives often sell out fast and fetch collector-level prices. But if you want a survival knife that outclasses the Esee 5 in brute strength, the Busse Team Gemini is one savage contender. Now picture this. A convoy is ambushed in a desert pass. One soldier finds himself pinned behind cover with a crate of supplies he needs to open fast. No multi-tool, no time. He draws his Busse Team Gemini and jams it under the lid. The knife flexes, creaks, but never snaps. Supplies retrieved, they make a break for safety. Later, That same blade is used to dig, baton, and cut shelter poles. By the end of the operation, it's beat to hell but still shaving sharp. That's Moving to the Survive. Knives GSO 5.1. This is a modern marvel built by a small American company obsessed with quality. Guy Cargill founded Survive. Knives with a Kickstarter campaign that exploded in the Bushcraft and EDC community. What makes them different? Every knife is made in small batches, CNC machined to perfection, and subjected to heat treatment protocols that rival aerospace specs. The GSO 5.1, in particular, is built from CPM3V, a steel known for edge stability and insane toughness. While not military issued, this knife is loved by wilderness instructors, hunters, and serious preppers who want something between a surgical scalpel and a crowbar. And unlike some big brands, Survive puts every dollar into materials and process. No fluff, no marketing hyped out. Fourth on our list is the Survive Knives GSO 5.1, a knife that has quietly become a darling among hardcore bushcrafters and survivalists alike. The GSO 5.1 blends elegance with ferocity, featuring premium CPM3V steel that laughs in the face of edge chipping and corrosion. This steel can hold a razor edge even after punishing tasks like batoning through hardwood or skinning game. Its 5.1-inch blade is a sweet spot for both bushcraft and tactical work, making it arguably more versatile than the ESSE 5's thicker, shorter blade. The ergonomics are next level, with chamfered edges on the scales to eliminate hot spots during long carving sessions. Compared to the ESSE 5, the GSO feels more refined and less fatiguing in hand. It's not a cheap knife, but many claim it's worth every cent, especially if you're looking for a blade that blends brute toughness with precision. One story sticks out. A Montana homesteader, 4 days into a remote elk hunting trip, had to hike back alone after a companion broke his ankle. Halfway back, the trail was blocked by windfall trees. With his GSO 5.1, he hacked through limbs, split firewood, and even carved splints. 3 days, 1 knife, 0 failures. When asked later what saved the trip, he didn't hesitate. That's Survive. Knife did more than carry me. It carried him too. Lastly, we arrive at the Bark River Bravo 1, a knife born from direct input by the U.S. Marine Corps' Force Recon. When Bark River asked what kind of blade Force Recon needed, the feedback was simple. We need something that just won't fail. Mike Stewart and his team built the Bravo 1 around that demand. With its convex grind, ergonomic handle, and heavy-duty steel options like a 2 or CPM3V, the Bravo 1 is often considered one of the finest hand-finished knives in America. Bark River doesn't stamp out blades. They grind each one by hand in Escanaba, Michigan, which gives the knife a distinct personality. It's a blade with soul. Finally, at number 5, we've got the Bark River Bravo 1, a knife forged in the yaw. Fires of military feedback and beloved by both Marines and bushcrafters. Built from either CPM3V or a 2 steel depending on the model, the Bravo 1 combines the nimbleness of a smaller field knife with the brute force of a tactical blade. The convex grind gives it phenomenal slicing ability, and its edge retention can be superior to the ESSE 5's 1095. The handle scales, available in gorgeous micarta or exotic woods, fit your hand like they were custom-made, making it a joy to work with for hours. Many users say the Bravo 1 feels more alive in hand than the ESSE 5, lighter and quicker while sacrificing none of the strength. If you're a fan of carving, food prep, and fine tasks, but still want a knife that can handle baton work, the Bravo 1 might be the perfect upgrade. The only caution? Bark River's convex edges can be intimidating to sharpen for beginners. But learn the technique, and this knife is a lifelong companion. Now imagine a recon Marine in Central America, deployed deep into jungle terrain. His kit is minimal, and every ounce counts. He uses his Bravo 1 daily cutting saplings for shelter, skinning small game, even crafting traps and cooking tools. The handle stays comfortable even after hours of use. The edge, sharpened properly with stropping, never falters. For that operator, the knife isn't just a tool, it's a teammate. And since we're talking brutal blades, let's not forget the brutal truth. Even the best knife won't save you if you don't take care of it. Carbon steels, like 1095 and A2, are tough, but they rust fast. After every trip, dry your blade completely. Use oils like Ballistal, CLP, or even olive oil, and a pinch to protect the edge. If you're storing long-term, apply a thin coat and keep it in a dry place, never in a leather sheath, which can trap moisture. For knives with convex grinds, like the Fallkniven A1X or Bark River Bravo 1 sharpening is a skill. You don't use a typical whetstone. Instead, stropping with a leather strop loaded with compound is the key. Use gentle, sweeping motions to maintain the rounded edge. It takes practice, but once mastered, you'll get a razor-sharp edge that lasts much longer than flat-ground blades. For emergency touch-ups, field sharpeners with convex-compatible angles can help, but don't rely on them forever. And if you're dealing with stainless steels like VG10 or laminated cobalt, don't get lazy. While they resist rust, they still dull with use. Clean them with warm water after cutting anything acidic or salty, and never store wet. A sharp knife is a safe knife, and in a survival situation, one well-maintained edge can mean the difference between life and lost. So, there you have it. 5 brutal survival knives that, in some ways, outclass the Esee 5. Now, before you run off to empty your wallet, remember this: the best survival knife is always the one you've tested and trust in your own hands. The ESSE 5 is a phenomenal tool and has rightfully earned its reputation. But these other blades prove that there's more than one perfect survival knife out there. Each of these contenders brings something unique to the table, whether it's superior steel, better ergonomics, or simply a design that fits your specific survival style. And if you're curious about pricing, specs, or want to check out any of these knives for yourself, I've left some helpful links down in the description, so you can explore further when the video's over. Out there in the wild, every ounce in your pack and every millimeter of your blade matters. The wrong knife can leave you exhausted or worse, in real danger if it fails when you need it most. That's why testing, researching, and handling these knives is so crucial. It's not about brand loyalty, it's about finding the right tool for your mission. So let me ask you, do you own the Esee 5? Or have you used any of these brutal contenders? Drop your experiences in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you found this video helpful, consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more deep dives into the world of survival gear. Check out those links in the description when you're ready to upgrade your blade game. Stay sharp, and I'll see you out there.